Welcome back to the show. As I mentioned, she is a personal injury lawyer, and now she can put in her title author because she and her partner have written a brand new book. It is called The Road to Recovery: Navigating Your Successful Personal Injury Case in Ontario. I'm joined by Brenda Hollingsworth. Brenda, welcome to the show. Wonderful to see you. It's been quite a few years, so you've obviously been busy over these almost, I think, about 10 years since we've last seen. So, well, what was the inspiration behind penning a book?
Well, part of it is that this month, Richard Auger, the co-author, who also happens to be my husband, we both celebrate 25 years as lawyers. And so we wanted to do something significant to commemorate that. And a book where we pour out everything we've learned seemed like a good way to mark the occasion.
Well, happy anniversary, first of all, before I
Thank
get to
you.
my next question. 25 years, an incredible success story. So,
Thanks.
why would someone want to read a book about personal injury cases?
Yeah, so you might think, I haven't had an injury. Why would I want to read this book? But the truth is, we know a lot about personal injury law, or we think we do, because we absorb so much of it on television and on the internet. Shows like Better Call Saul give us an idea of what we might think personal injury might look like. But the truth is, in Ontario, it's really quite different than that. And so we all think we know what we should do after an accident, but in large measure many of us don't. And some of the things you do in the immediate days, hours, months after an accident are really important, and if you don't get them right, you can't go back and do it over. So reading a
Right.
book like this so that you know what to do if you or a loved one is unfortunate enough to be in an accident really will help you make sure that you get what you deserve in the event of an unfortunate accident.
Brenda, what do you think would surprise people in Ontario when it comes to personal injury cases?
Well, car accidents in particular are tricky. Ontario actually has the most complicated system in North America. We've got one system for the damage to your car. We've got one system for your, medical care, no fault benefits, and then we've also got a system where we sue people. And if you happen to be in an accident involving a bicycle, your homeowner's insurance is also going to be involved. So we've got a
Okay.
very, very complicated system, far more complicated than it needs to be.
Lots of people. This is an interesting one that you sent me because you're saying that lots of people research their lives on Google. Um, I'm assuming there are problems with that because the question is, are there problems, doing that with a personal injury case? What could the
Yes.
problems possibly be?
So the problem with Google is that we are dominated by American websites, and the American
Ah,
law is very, very different. First of all, there are 50 states, and they all have their own systems. So if you look up Florida, you look up Nebraska, you're going to get different answers. So what you really need is to know what applies to you in Ontario. So, for example, we have mandatory liability insurance here. Not everywhere in the states does. Like in New Hampshire, you don't
right.
need any liability insurance. So you just can't judge.
Healthcare workers obviously often deal with people who have had a serious accident of some sort. Would they benefit from reading this book?
Yeah, they've actually been one of our biggest group of purchasers or customers so far have been healthcare workers who
Interesting.
often get bits and pieces of the process. Like if you're a physiotherapist, you might see a very specific part of a case, or a chiropractor, family doctor. And what we've had early feedback that it's really quite helpful to get the whole context. And so actually, if there are healthcare workers who are interested in getting a copy of the book, I'd be happy to gift them one. Just reach out to our office. But you can also, of course, order one. And I think you would really find, if you're a healthcare worker, that it gives you the big picture that you don't often see when you're just dealing with that little piece of your patient's care.
Brenda, if you've been injured, in an accident of some kind, what's the first thing you should do?
Medical care is always the priority. It is very, very difficult to prove that your injuries are serious and that they were caused by an accident if you didn't actually get real-time medical care. So that's always the priority. And then the second, close second, is giving notice. There are lots of short time frames for different kinds of accidents: slip and fall, car accident. In slip and fall against the city, you've got 10 days to give notice. So
Okay.
giving notice is a very close second in terms of priorities after an accident.
Brenda, quickly, where can people get a copy of the book?
It's on Amazon Prime. You can have it in your hands this weekend. Indigo and also Kindle.
Excellent. Brenda, thanks so much. So great to see you after all these years. Thanks for joining us. Hey, we'll introduce you to another wonderful author right after the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daytime Ottawa.